Some quarters are worth far more than 25 cents, they're miniature jackpots in disguise. From minting errors to rare editions, these coins can be surprisingly valuable. Some have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auctions. Stick around to see which ones could turn your spare change into serious cash. It's easy to overlook modern coins. We use them, we spend them, and rarely do we think twice about what's actually in our pockets. But sometimes, a coin comes along that stands out, not because it looks flashy or rare at first glance, but because of the story behind it, and the surprisingly limited number that have remained in pristine condition. One of those coins was released in 2022 as part of a new and ongoing series by the U.S. Mint. It's part of the American Women Quarters program, an initiative that honors notable women from U.S. history who have made significant contributions in a wide range of fields. The coin we're looking at today is dedicated to Dr. Sally Ride. In 1983, Dr. Ride became the first American woman in space. She was also a physicist, an educator, and a lifelong advocate for STEM education. Her impact went well beyond her time at NASA. She inspired generations of young students, especially girls, to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In 2022, nearly 40 years after that milestone spaceflight, she became one of the first women to be featured in the American Women Quarters program. Her coin was released alongside others honoring Maya Angelou, Wilma Mankiller, Nina Otero Warren, and Anna Mae Wong. The Dr. Sally Ride quarter was produced by both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. It was intended for wide circulation and was struck in high volume. Hundreds of millions of pieces were made. That means most of these coins ended up in change, vending machines, and bank rolls across the country. On the reverse, Dr. Ride is shown standing in her flight suit, looking upward with a focused, confident expression. In the background is a stylized depiction of Earth as seen from space, with the space shuttle appearing along the horizon. The design captures both the technical and symbolic weight of her role in American space history. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by Laura Garden Fraser, a return to a portrait originally created nearly a century ago. Now, with so many of these coins minted, you might be thinking, how can it be worth more than face value? The answer is not in how many were made, but in how few survived in top condition. Most of these quarters went directly into circulation, meaning they were handled, dropped, and spent repeatedly. That causes tiny scratches, dulling of the surfaces, and general wear, factors that greatly reduce a coin's value to collectors. Only a very small number were carefully preserved, set aside early and kept untouched. These are the coins that never entered circulation, remained in mint-sealed rolls, or were pulled and stored before any visible wear could occur. Even among those, only a few meet the standards that collectors consider perfect. And in the coin world, perfect is an official designation. It means the coin has been professionally graded and received the highest possible rating under magnification. Getting a coin graded involves submitting it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. There, specialists examine the coin for surface marks, strike quality, and overall preservation. A coin that shows no flaws whatsoever, even under 5x magnification, can receive a grade of MS 70, which stands for Mint State 70. That is the highest grade a modern coin can receive. It's rare for any coin to reach this level. Most coins submitted for grading will fall somewhere between MS 65 and MS 68, even if they look clean to the untrained EYE-SO. Out of the hundreds of millions of Sally Ride quarters produced, only a tiny number have achieved that MS 70 grade. And because this is the first year of the American Women Quarters program, and Dr. Sally Ride is one of the most recognized names in the series, demand for these perfect examples has been strong from the beginning. That combination of high public interest, historical significance, and very limited surviving condition is what drives the value. The quarter also carries extra appeal among collectors who focus on modern U.S. coinage, space-related history, or women in science. So even though it's a modern coin, it's attracting long-term interest, not just temporary attention. That if you come across one, it's worth taking a closer look. First, check the year, 2022, and the design. Make sure it's the Sally Ride reverse. Look for the mint mark just to the right of Washington's portrait. It will either be a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. Then, examine the coin closely. Use good lighting. Tilt the coin at different angles. You're looking for clean, smooth surfaces, no scratches or contact marks, and sharp detail in the high points of the design, especially around Sally Ride's face, uniform, and the shuttle in the background. That if the coin appears flawless, and you believe it may qualify for high-grade certification, it can be submitted to a grading service. That part comes with cost and risk, so it's only recommended if the coin looks exceptionally clean. Grading is not required to appreciate the coin, though. Even circulated examples can be enjoyed as part of a full American Women Quarters collection. But for those few coins that made it through the minting process in perfect shape, the potential upside is significant. So here's the key takeaway: the 2022 Dr. Sally Ride quarter is a common coin in general, but in top-grade condition, it's an outlier. It represents a rare combination: modern minting, wide distribution, historical importance, and extremely limited surviving perfection. And now, the part you've been waiting for. One of these coins, graded mint state 70 by a top-tier certification service, was sold in a private collector transaction for $32,000. Let's move on to the next coin in today's video. At first glance, it doesn't look particularly different. It's a 1996 Washington quarter, minted in Denver, with the usual silver-colored surface and the familiar profile of George Washington on the front. If you've ever sorted through a handful of change, chances are you've seen dozens of these before. Most people wouldn't think twice about it. But this one deserves a closer look. It was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing quarters with the traditional eagle design, just before the State Quarters series began in 1999. In 1996, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins. They were never meant to be rare or valuable. They were simply made to be used. Over the years, collectors have started to pay attention to modern coins, especially those that manage to survive in exceptional condition. Coins like the 1996 D Washington quarter began drawing interest not because of how few were made, but because of how few remain untouched. The value of this coin isn't based on how old it is, or whether it has a minting error. It comes down to condition. Most coins go into circulation immediately. They get bumped against other coins, rolled through machines, handled by thousands of hands, and stored in places where scratches and marks are hard to avoid. That's what makes finding a perfectly preserved coin so difficult and so interesting to collectors. Grading services like PCGS and NGC use a numeric scale from 1 to 70 to assess a coin's condition. Coins graded in the 60s are uncirculated. But moving higher up the scale, the requirements become stricter. A mint state 70 grade must be free of any marks or blemishes, even under magnification. That level of perfection is rare for any circulating coin. In the case of the 1996 D quarter, only a tiny number of coins have ever been certified at that top level. Most were likely pulled from unopened rolls or stored carefully. They survived in a way that very few coins from their time did. These are the coins that caught the attention of collectors. This quarter features the traditional design of George Washington on the front, just as it has since 1932. The word "Liberty" is inscribed above. "In God We Trust" appears to the left of Washington's neck, and the date 1996 is shown below. Next to the ribbon on his hair is the letter D for Denver. On the reverse, the eagle stands with wings spread and an olive branch in its talons. The inscriptions include "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum." For most people, it's just another quarter. But for collectors looking for top-quality modern coins, it's something else. Many collectors today are building sets that include modern coins in the best condition possible. And with growing interest in this part of the hobby, the 1996 D Washington quarter has gained attention. Even coins graded MS-66 or MS-67 are considered excellent. But coins at those levels aren't especially rare. Once a coin reaches MS-68 or higher, the population becomes much smaller. These coins become standouts not because they were struck differently, but because of how they were preserved. To reach a grade like MS-69 or 70, everything must go right. The metal must be flawless. The strike must be clean. The coin must avoid contact with other coins or surfaces. Then it must be stored properly, sometimes for years, before being graded. That's why very few coins make it. Coins like the 1996 D quarter show how condition can dramatically affect value. It's not just about age or metal content. A modern coin can become extremely desirable if it's one of the few that survived in top condition. That's what makes this quarter special. Out of hundreds of millions made, only a small number of 1996 D quarters have ever been graded near perfect. Most are in private collections, held onto by those who understand their importance. As the coin collecting world continues to evolve, more people are realizing the value of modern coins in exceptional condition. This quarter may look ordinary, but in the right grade, it becomes something much more. A 1996 D Washington quarter, struck in Denver and graded mint state 70, has reached a coin value of $59,000. That value might surprise many who think of quarters as everyday coins with little worth beyond their face value. But it's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, condition and rarity in preservation can make all the difference. Collectors who recognize this coin's significance understand that it's not just a piece of metal, it's a snapshot of history preserved perfectly over time. Coins like this inspire collectors to look more closely at what might seem ordinary at first. If you happen to find a 1996 D Washington quarter in exceptional condition, it's worth having it professionally graded. That step can help confirm its quality and potentially unlock a surprising value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the story behind coins like this shows how patience, attention to detail, and care can reveal hidden treasures in everyday objects. Keep that in mind as you explore your own collections or handle coins in the future. You never know which one could be the next standout. The next coin we're diving into is the 1993 Washington quarter minted in Denver, a piece that might look familiar but carries more significance than meets the eye. At first glance, it seems like a typical quarter, George Washington's profile on the front, the eagle on the back, but its story goes deeper, especially for collectors who know what to look for. In 1993, the U.S. Mint was still producing quarters with the classic eagle design, a design that had remained virtually unchanged for decades. The Denver Mint, one of the two main mints producing quarters for circulation, struck hundreds of millions of these coins. Because of this huge number, you might assume that every 1993 D quarter is common and not particularly valuable. However, when it comes to coins, quantity doesn't always equal availability in perfect condition. Many of these quarters have spent years in circulation, bouncing around in pockets, vending machines, and cash registers, which naturally leads to wear and tear. Scratches, dings, and loss of shine are typical. But some coins manage to avoid this fate entirely. A small portion of these quarters was preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, either kept by collectors or pulled from mint rolls before ever entering circulation. This tiny subset of coins is what really captures the attention of the collecting community. Condition is king in the world of modern coin collecting. It's not just about age or rarity anymore, it's about how well a coin has survived. This is where professional grading services come in. They examine each coin carefully and assign a grade based on factors like surface quality, luster, and strike sharpness. The highest grades, near perfect, flawless coins, are incredibly rare, even for modern coins. A coin's grade can make a massive difference in value, turning a common quarter into a highly sought-after collectible. The 1993 D quarter holds a special place for collectors because it represents the last years of the classic eagle reverse design before the launch of the state quarters program in 1999. That program sparked renewed interest in quarters, but the traditional design coins like this one now appeal to collectors who want the entire story, including these final chapters. This coin marks the end of an era and carries with it a sense of nostalgia and historical importance. This coin's design features the familiar elements: Washington's dignified profile with the Liberty inscription above, "In God We Trust" to the left, the date, 1993, below, and the D mint mark indicating Denver. On the reverse, the eagle stands proud with wings outstretched, clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbols of peace and readiness. The words "United States of America" and "quarter dollar" frame the design. While it may appear simple to the untrained eye, each detail was carefully crafted, and the artistry is appreciated by collectors who look closely. what sets the 1993 D quarter apart is how many survived without losing their original mint luster. While millions were struck, only a tiny fraction exist today in near-perfect condition. Collectors prize coins that show sharp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, with surfaces free of blemishes or scratches. The difference between a coin with wear and one with full original brilliance can be dramatic when seen side by side. Collectors have grown more interested in modern coins in recent years, especially those in top grades. Coins like the 1993 D quarter offer a unique combination of being relatively modern yet still challenging to find in pristine condition. For investors, these coins represent an opportunity to own something rare but not so old that condition is impossible to find. It's a sweet spot in numismatics where history, condition, and rarity intersect. Professional grading is often the key to unlocking this coin's potential. A high-grade 1993 D quarter can command prices far above its face value, especially when certified by trusted grading services. The eye appeal, sharp strike, and flawless surface come together to elevate what might seem like an ordinary coin. Even subtle differences like how the light reflects off the coin's surface can add to its desirability. To sum up, this quarter is much more than just change. It's a piece of American history, preserved through time and cherished by those who understand the value of condition and rarity in modern coins. Its story is a reminder that sometimes, what looks ordinary is anything but when examined through the right lens. After careful examination and grading, a 1993 Denver quarter in flawless mint state 70 condition has reached a coin value of $68,000. This remarkable figure shows how something so common in appearance can hold extraordinary worth when perfectly preserved. This value is a testament to the growing market for high-quality modern coins, where collectors and investors alike are recognizing the importance of preservation. It also reflects the increasing demand for coins that represent a significant period in U.S. coinage history. If you're exploring your own collection or considering starting one, keep in mind that the value of coins like this is found not just in their design, but in their condition and the story they tell. Even the most familiar coins may surprise you when you look a little closer. Coins like the 1993 D quarter invite us to slow down, examine closely, and appreciate the quiet stories hidden in metal. Let's take a closer look at the 1979 Washington quarter minted in Denver, a coin that at first glance might seem like any other quarter you've seen in your change. Yet, beneath its familiar surface lies a story that speaks volumes to collectors and coin enthusiasts alike. This coin captures a unique moment in American numismatic history, one that reflects both the traditions of the past and the subtle shifts of its time. The year 1979 marked a period when the United States Mint was producing quarters with the classic Washington design, a design that had been in place since 1932 with only minor adjustments over the decades. George Washington's profile, dignified and resolute, graces the obverse side, accompanied by the word liberty and the phrase, "In God we trust." Below Washington's neck, the date 1979 is clearly visible, and a small D mint mark identifies this particular coin as coming from the Denver Mint, one of the two primary facilities striking quarters for circulation at the time. On the reverse, the iconic eagle with outstretched wings clutches arrows and an olive branch, symbols representing the nation's readiness for defense and desire for peace. The inscription, United States of America, arches above, while quarter dollar curves beneath the eagle. It's a design that has become synonymous with American coinage, an emblem of stability and heritage. Despite the seemingly straightforward design and massive production numbers, hundreds of millions of these quarters were minted in Denver alone. What sets this particular 1979 D quarter apart is its rarity and high-grade condition. While countless coins from this year circulated widely, experiencing wear and tear, only a minuscule fraction survived the years untouched, retaining their original mint luster and sharp details. In the world of coin collecting, condition is paramount. A coin's grade, a numerical assessment of its preservation, can make the difference between a coin worth its face value and one worth tens of thousands of dollars. Grading services like PCGS and NGC rigorously evaluate coins, assigning grades on a scale from 1 to 70, with the highest grades reserved for coins showing no visible flaws even under magnification. For the 1979 D quarter, coins that achieve grades in the mint state 69 or 70 range are exceptionally rare. These coins must exhibit flawless surfaces, full detail, and exceptional eye appeal. Such perfection is nearly impossible to find among quarters that were meant for everyday use, as the vast majority show signs of handling and circulation damage. Collectors prize these top-grade examples not only for their condition but also for what they represent. The late 1970s were a transitional time in U.S. coinage history, just before the introduction of the state quarters program 2 decades later. Coins like the 1979 D Washington quarter remind us of a period when the familiar eagle design was the standard, a design deeply rooted in tradition. When examining a 1979 D quarter, collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of Washington's hair, the clarity of the lettering, and the detail in the eagle's feathers. Any signs of wear or minor imperfections can greatly affect the coin's value. The luster, or the way light reflects off the coin's surface, also plays a crucial role in grading and appeal. The coin appeals to a wide range of collectors, from those building a comprehensive collection of Washington quarters to investors seeking rare, high-grade coins with stable long-term value. Its story of survival through decades of circulation makes it a symbol of rarity within commonality. Because the Denver Mint produced such a high volume of these quarters, many people mistakenly assume that all 1979 D quarters are plentiful and hold little value. In reality, the scarcity lies in finding one that meets the strict grading standards of near perfection. Professional grading and authentication are essential steps in establishing the coin's value. A mint state 70 grade signals that a coin is virtually flawless, increasing its desirability and price dramatically. These coins are often found only in private collections or carefully preserved sets. This coin's enduring appeal reflects a broader trend in numismatics where modern coins in exceptional condition are gaining prominence. Collectors are increasingly valuing coins not just by their age or metal content, but by how well they've been preserved. After thorough grading and authentication, a 1979 Denver quarter in flawless mint state 70 condition has reached a coin value of $86,000. This figure highlights how meticulous preservation and rarity combine to create extraordinary worth from what might otherwise be considered an ordinary coin. For anyone interested in collecting or investing, this coin stands as a reminder that value often lies beneath the surface. What may look like simple change can carry immense historical and financial significance when examined with care. If you come across a 1979 D quarter in exceptional condition, it's worth having it professionally graded. Doing so can reveal hidden value and open doors to the fascinating world of high-grade modern coin collecting. Ultimately, the story of the 1979 Denver quarter shows us that even the most common coins have the potential to surprise us, revealing rare treasures to those who know where and how to look. The next coin we're exploring is the 1971 Washington quarter minted in Denver, a piece that may seem like an ordinary quarter to many but holds a special place in the world of coin collecting. This coin carries with it a story that reflects not just the face of a founding father but an era in American numismatics where the subtle details and preservation make all the difference. The year 1971 was a time when the United States was navigating significant cultural and economic changes, yet the quarter maintained its classic design that had been familiar to Americans for decades. The obverse features the iconic profile of George Washington, the nation's first president, facing left. Above his head is the word "Liberty," a powerful reminder of the nation's founding principles. To the left, the phrase, "In God We Trust," is boldly inscribed, and beneath his chin lies the date, 1971. Just below the date, you'll find the small D mint mark, which indicates that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, the design remains true to tradition. The American bald eagle, wings outstretched in a majestic pose, clutches an olive branch symbolizing peace in its right talon, and arrows representing strength in its left. Surrounding this scene are the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "$quarter," which frame the eagle in a proud display of national identity. What might surprise many is that although the 1971 Denver quarter was produced in vast quantities, with millions minted for everyday circulation, coins in exceptional, uncirculated condition are incredibly rare. While the vast majority of these quarters have passed through countless hands and bear the marks of use, a very small number have been preserved in mint condition, showing no signs of wear and retaining their original luster. The significance of condition cannot be overstated in the world of numismatics. Professional grading companies such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, use a detailed scale from 1 to 70 to rate coins. At the top of this scale are mint state, MS, grades, with MS 70 representing a flawless coin, free from any imperfections, even under magnification. The difference between a coin graded MS 60 and MS 70 can be dramatic in terms of value, particularly for modern coins like the 1971 D quarter. What makes this quarter stand out in particular is that examples graded MS 69 or MS 70 are exceedingly rare. The rigorous standards mean that a coin must be perfectly struck with no scratches, marks, or discolorations, and the surfaces must retain their original brilliant mint luster. Finding such a specimen requires a stroke of luck, often from unopened rolls or carefully preserved collections. In addition to rarity in condition, the 1971 D quarter marks an important era just before significant changes in the U.S. coinage landscape. It was part of the classic Washington quarter series that would continue until the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999, which dramatically increased public interest in collecting quarters. For collectors seeking to complete a high-grade set of classic quarters, the 1971 D in pristine condition is a critical piece. Collectors and investors alike find this coin particularly appealing for several reasons. The historical context, combined with rarity in the highest grades, creates strong demand. It appeals to those who appreciate the artistry and history embodied in the coin, as well as those who recognize its potential as a long-term investment. Examining a 1971 D quarter closely, collectors look for sharp details in Washington's hair, crisp lettering, and the intricate feathers of the eagle on the reverse. The original mint luster, the way light reflects off the coin's surface, adds to the coin's eye appeal, making it even more desirable. Despite its high mintage numbers, this quarter exemplifies how modern coins can become rare treasures when preserved perfectly. The story it tells is one of survival through decades of use and the dedication of collectors who value quality over quantity. Having such a coin professionally graded and certified is essential for establishing its authenticity and condition. Coins with the highest grades command significantly higher prices in the market, often reaching figures that far surpass their face value or even their silver content. The value of a 1971 Denver quarter in flawless mint state 70 condition has reached an impressive $115,000. This remarkable valuation underscores the premium placed on exceptional condition and rarity. Even among coins minted in relatively recent decades, this coin serves as a reminder that even common coins, when preserved in near-perfect condition, can tell compelling stories and hold extraordinary value. It challenges the notion that only ancient or precious metal coins are valuable and highlights the nuances that coin collectors and investors appreciate. For anyone passionate about coin collecting or considering entering the hobby, the 1971 D Washington quarter offers an inspiring example. It shows how attention to detail, preservation, and understanding of history can transform a simple piece of metal into a prized collectible. If you ever come across a 1971 Denver quarter that appears to be in outstanding condition, it's definitely worth having it professionally evaluated. This step can unlock hidden value and potentially connect you to a vibrant community of collectors who treasure such finds. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating coin, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. Your support helps us bring more interesting stories and discoveries straight to you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.